A tuning peg is used to hold a string in the peg box of a stringed instrument. It may be made of ebony, rosewood, boxwood, or other material. Some tuning pegs are ornamented with shell, metal, or plastic inlays, beads, or rings. Turning the peg tightens or loosens the string, changing the pitch produced when the string is played and thereby tuning it. Pegbox. A pegbox is the part of certain stringed musical instruments that houses the tuning pegs. Friction pegs. Friction pegs are most often used on violin family instruments. They are also used on older instruments, such as the Bulgarian gadulka and the hurdy-gurdy, as well as on flamenco guitars. A properly working peg will turn easily and hold reliably, that is, it will neither stick nor slip. Modern pegs for violin and viola have conical shafts, turned to a 1/30 taper, changing in diameter by 1 mm over a distance of 30 mm. The taper allows the peg to turn more easily when pulled out slightly, and to hold firmly when pushed in while being turned. Since the typical wear pattern on a peg shaft interferes with this action, pegs occasionally require refitting, a specialized job which amounts to reshaping both pegs and holes to a smooth circular conical taper. Peg dope. Peg dope is a substance used to coat the bearing surfaces of the tuning pegs of string instruments. Manufactured varieties are generally sold in either a small stick, a block, or as a liquid in a bottle. A commonly used home expedient treatment involves soap and chalk, in varying proportion depending on whether the peg tends to slip or stick. Peg dope serves two different purposes. It both lubricates the peg shaft so it turns easily in the peg box and provides friction to keep the pegs from slipping with the force of string tension. Tuning pegs that are well fitted and properly doped will both turn smoothly throughout an entire rotation and hold firmly wherever the player wishes. Without the proper amount of friction to hold the peg in place, a tuning peg will tend to slip, making a tuning setting virtually impossible to maintain. String instruments with pegs that are slipping can be tuned briefly, but will be out of tune within minutes as soon as the peg slips again. With too much friction, adjusting the tuning at all is impossible. If the pegs or the holes are not perfectly round, or if the bearing surfaces of the pegs are indented from wear, peg dope will not remedy the resulting problems. Geared pegs. Pegs for double bass and guitar family instruments are usually geared, and are called tuning machines or machine heads. Geared pegs for violin family instruments also exist, although they have not gained wide use, which has to do with the extensive and irreversible physical modification that must be made to the peg box in order to mount them, which is often viewed as ruining the aesthetics of the instrument, combined with a bad reputation they acquired due to poorly designed early models that were prone to failure, often with catastrophically damaging results. The most recently marketed pegs of this sort use planetary gears designed to fit inside a case shaped like a friction peg, and have seen some adoption as they require no more modification of the instrument than a new set of friction pegs and make fine tuners unnecessary.